minute in practice. Reds blanked the Astros today 1-0. Twins over the Rays 4-3. Mariners lead the A's in the 7th 4-2. Diamondbacks and Giants tied at 2 in the 7th. In soccer, American star Alex Morgan officially announced her retirement effective Sunday after San Diego FC's home match.
Welcome into the West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview, presented by Fox Eye Care. Here's your host, Martin and Xavier Houston.
Welcome into the West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview Show. It is week number 3, and we're excited to be here with you. We have the game of the week, the Paul W. Bryant Stampede versus the Central Falcons. So it's going to be a fun time as we highlight that particular game. Of course, last week we had the opportunity to highlight Northridge versus Northridge versus ACA, and that was an exciting game. It actually came down to an overtime. We got a couple highlights from that. How you doing, sir? Welcome into the program.
Good evening. So used to saying good morning, got to get used to
that. Absolutely. Of course, here's a quick highlight for those who are viewing. You can see it, but those of you who are listening, listen in as our game of the week last week ended up being the right pick as far as a interesting game. The Northridge Jaguars were able to get an overtime win, and here they are with the big play that tied it up, and then we'll come back and listen to the quick kick, and then we'll have some comments, and then we'll be adding Coach Pippen of the Central Falcons into the game. But here's the sound of victory, or at least preparing for victory, by the Northridge Jaguars. I mean, X, it wasn't that big.
Saving on your education should be a right.
It wasn't that big a deal in terms of the game itself, but that 2-yard play set up an opportunity for Northridge to come out. And, you would have expected last week, based on ACA's result against TAA and then Northridge's result against Calera, you may have expected that to be a little bit more of a maybe a blowout, or not quite as interesting a game as it ended up being. But it turned out that ended up being a really tight game. We're tell you what, just because of time, we're not going to show that kick at this time, but we'll may circle back on it. We have so much we try to cram in this 1 hour, X. But what are your thoughts as we review last week's game of the week? Northridge able to take down ACA. I call it the backyard battle. Is probably what they need to call that game.
Yeah, I mean, Northridge was able to come out, get the second win of the season, another close game. It's one of those things for Northridge, that's something you can build on and say, hey, when things are hard, when things are tough, we figured out how to dig down deep and make the plays to win. And, even with Coach Martin and ACA losing, it was a closer game, a hard-fought game. And as he said, he has a young team, and you can build on that as well.
Yeah, and actually here's that game-winning kick for Northridge as we present this game-winning kick for Northridge. Yeah. Well, that's a 17 doesn't seem like that big a deal for us, guys. But that 17-14 win, Schofield making the big kick for them. I tell you what, let's go ahead as we prepare. Let's go ahead and call Coach Pippen, the Central Falcons, and get him into the conversation. X, and as we get Coach Pippen in, we'll go ahead and start talking a little bit about this particular matchup, Paul W. Bryant, Stampede versus Central Falcons. I want to thank and welcome all our listeners into the program. Those of you who tune in each and every week, we appreciate you. And we want to thank the fine folks over at Box Eye Care for what they do to help make this possible. But check them out at boxeyecare.com. You can call them at 205-342-0660. Dr. Daniel Box, OD. They have that new in-house lab, and they can help you get get in and out with a new look. In most cases, within an hour. Sometimes I have to send it off, but with that new in-house lab, they can serve you. And if you're looking for them, they're no longer in the Walmart. They are at their new location at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive, located down right next door to Met Center South on 69. All right, getting word that we do have Coach Pippen in. Good evening, Coach. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. Welcome into the West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview Show. We're so glad and so honored to have you on and to be able to highlight high school football in West Alabama. And hey, man, the football world sets right when a couple things are happening in Tuscaloosa. Number one is obviously when Alabama's winning, right?
Yes, sir.
But you probably would agree with this even more than I do, since I ended up having some kids that went to the Jaguars. But I was here in that time when Central was the powerhouse of high school football. You got a glimpse of it in your days there. But, Coach, when Central's playing good football, things are right here in Tuscaloosa County. So talk to us a little bit about what it's like to be back at your alma mater and trying to reestablish. I think you called it, we're going to dig up some roots and build and plant off of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Honestly, man, it's a true blessing, to be in this position, man. With me being a former Falcon and coming back, being able to give back to my alma mater, man, it's a huge opportunity. And you're correct on that right there. I kind of, in my mind, before I got this job, I knew this was fertile ground, and I know it's some good soil, so that's why I had to dig up those roots, plant some good seed. And now I've been kind of tending to those plants, man, and they've been producing pretty good for me so far. So just got to stick to our regimen and continue to build.
Well, Coach, I have someone on here with you that I'm sure you're familiar with. My eldest son, Xavier, and you guys were in school at the same time playing against each other. So, X, I'll bring you in.
What's up, Pip?
Hey, what's up with you, bro? How you doing?
Man, doing good. Glad to have you on, man. We've talked about this moment, getting you on the show and talking to you for a while. But glad, like I said, glad to finally be able to have you on, man. And Pip, everything you've been doing over there, you've been building. You were part of that 2007 state championship team with some guys that you even have helping you out over there. What's been your biggest motivation to get Central back to that level?
Well, honestly, my biggest motivation, is the community. You know what I'm saying? Because I do truly feel like that community deserves, to have a football team that they can cheer for and be proud of. So that was my biggest thing. Just getting that community back on board, being ready to cheer for somebody, and being up for Friday night. So that was the biggest motivating factor.
Yeah, and what's something that from back when you were playing with Coach P and you guys when y'all went on that 15-0 run back in '07, what's some of those lessons that you learned from him and the guys that you were out there with that you're instilling in your team now?
Well, two of the biggest things, is belief and hard work, because it was a time where, my freshman year we were 1-9, my sophomore year we were 1-9, and then, junior year, first round of playoffs, senior year, state champs. And, the belief factor. You know, we had to start believing in ourselves and stop depending on other people to give us gratitude, to give us praise, you know. So we had started looking in that mirror and believing in ourselves, and we was willing to put in the work that coach was requiring. So I think those are the two similar things that my team have and that team is the belief and the work ethic.
Awesome, man. Love to hear that.
Hey, Coach, let me jump in real quick. We got an interview coming up here in a little bit with one of your former coaches, who you're going to be going against tonight, as Christian Jones was with you. You thought for this season, but literally went from a coach who was working with you. But he and I talked a little bit, and we'll break it down a little bit more. And you've mentioned it. A lot of people only look at the physical part of the game. And you mentioned belief, Coach. Central High School has not lacked for talent, in my opinion. But it's been something missing, and you think it's that belief mentality. What other ingredients have you been able to bring? Because Coach Jones was talking about he took some of these things from you, even on the character side.
Yeah, man. It's funny that you bring that up because actually, literally, I just walked out of character development. Like the guys are in there getting their food eaten now. So it's something that we do on Thursdays, where we have walkthroughs on Thursday. But I always bring a speaker in once a week to talk to those guys about things outside of the game of football, because I feel like those things are important because you're going to play football on a small portion of your life, and most of these guys are going to live longer. So I just wanted to make sure when you leave my program, you got good core value as a young man going into the world. So, you know, John Wooden, a great quote that he said back in the day, good coach can change a life, but a good coach can change a game, but a great coach can change a life. So that's what it was. So, and I took that quote and I was like, wow, that's a powerful statement. And, you know, so that's why I said to myself, like, if I'm going to be in this position, I have to go far beyond football, you know, and touch these guys in ways, you know, that's far beyond you learning a play or you learning a technique on the field, you know, like you learning discipline, order, structure, work ethic, commitment, you know, things of that nature. And I think those things will carry those guys a long way.
Well, Coach, I can tell you Dr. Billy Graham used to say that the most influential position in the world is not a pastor, but a coach. And I believe that because I tell people all the time, if they see me coming as Pastor Martin, they don't talk to me. They see Coach Houston coming, and we can talk and relate and build. So let's talk a little bit about this game tonight. Who are some of the guys for Central we need to be looking at?
Well, right now, we have a quarterback, sophomore Amani White. He's playing pretty good ball right now. He has a total of 7 touchdowns. He rushed for 3 versus Tuscaloosa County, and he threw 4 touchdowns versus Calera. And then we have 2 defensive linemen that's been playing pretty good ball. Ferran Dancy, he's currently averaging 2 sacks a game. Then we have Jackson Carlisle. He actually has like 4 sacks, which he had 3 of those sacks on last Friday. So I'm looking forward to those guys stepping up, making plays. Then, you know, of course, we got a few nice receivers, Christian Bishop, Trayvon Hall, Jalen Powell. And, you know, for the most part, like it's a well-rounded, balanced group of guys. And, you know, at any given moment, somebody can pop out. So that's what I love about this group.
X.
And who's your kicker, man? We had a guy call into our morning show talking about him. You know, he kicked the game winner against County High. What's your kicker's name for us?
His name is Graham Wolf. And man, that kid, man, he's been phenomenal for us, man. Like, and he's gotten so much stronger. Because last year, like his leg wasn't as strong, but man, he's been in that weight room hard, hitting it hard, man. And now, man, like that leg is stretching out. So, you know, it's a blessing to have a kicker on your side. To be honest.
100% with that. Is there anybody out there that reminds you a little bit of you from back in the day?
Oh man, hey, look, man, I'm gonna be honest. I wish. Nah. Let me stop, man. But I really don't think nobody on my team has my running style, but we do have a few guys in that backfield that can tote that rock, though, man, to be honest. Like, we have a senior named Sean Keith Turner. Like, he's been playing great football for us these past 2 games, moving the stick. So he's been stepping up, playing big-time ball for us. So that'll be a kid that you guys will be hearing about on down the line.
Coach Pippen, Xavier mentioned the national state championship you guys won in 2007, and then a little while before that, and it's been 17 years since that time. Is that right? Am I adding my math up right? Yeah.
Hey, Pops, don't date our age that much.
but here, hey, Coach Pippen, listen, I was on that bridge team, right? At Alabama.
Okay.
When Alabama got it right, when they got the right guy in, a program that won a lot of championships and then went through a dead period, won 1 championship, and then went on a 17-year drought. When they turned it around, they were back where they want to be. Does Coach Pippen feel like him returning home, that he has the key ingredients there, and that we can start looking for Central? And I know I'm putting you on the spot, but can we start looking for Central to be one of those teams that's going to have to be dealt with in the coming time?
Oh, yes, sir. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because first and foremost, like, that goes back to my point I made earlier. It's about belief. Like, I can't depend on no one else to tell me, hey, you guys are going to be good in the regions, or you guys are going to take over the region or be successful. Like, we're preaching this, we're breeding this into these kids. So it's coming from within. So once, everybody else figure it out, oh, since it's going to be pretty good. I mean, we already been knowing this all along. So it's a confidence that we walk around with. So that's definitely what we're walking in.
Well, what's your keys to victory to tomorrow night? And invite the folks to come out and watch Central versus Paul Bryant.
The key to victory for us tomorrow is to eliminate all emotion, because it's not personal, it's business, because Coach Jones, he recently was on our staff. I coached all those kids when I was at Eastwood before I came to Central. Bryant's principal, he's the guy that gave me my first head coaching job. So it's a lot of, love there for us and for them as well. But the thing is, we still got to go out and play this football game. So my thing is just eliminating all emotion. That's the biggest thing.
All right. X, you got anything else before we let Coach Pippen go?
Hey, Pip, it's always great talking to you, man. Got nothing but love for you. Good luck tomorrow night.
All right. I appreciate you guys having me on.
We appreciate you, Coach, and maybe we'll get a chance to talk to you because you guys will still be around when it's playoff time.
Yes, sir, for sure. I appreciate it.
All right. We'll be back on the other side to keep things rolling right here on Tide 100.9, 12:30 a.m. WTBC. That was Coach Pippen. Coming back on the other side, we'll hear from Coach Christian Jones, former wide receiver of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. And watch for an accident in the left lane north on Lurleen Wallace.
Welcome into the West Alabama
Boulevard, and an accident was cleared on westbound McFarland at Veterans Memorial Parkway. Got some slowing north on Highway 69 from McFarland to Mitt-Larry Road. It's a 5-minute delay. And there is bridge work on the Paul Bryant Bridge. Long-term construction on 15th Street at 2nd Avenue. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Lisa Baque.
365, 24/7. You'll find road and utility crews, tow trucks, law enforcement, and first responders working along Alabama's roadway.
We're making improvements and helping our communities stay connected.
We're working hard to make sure you're safe on the road. Now we need your help to make sure we're safe too.
Alabama's move over law requires you to move over a lane when you see flashing lights on the roadside. And if you can't safely move over, please slow down.
Visit DriveSafeAlabama.org, brought to you by the Alabama Department of Transportation, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Are you receiving unemployment? Your benefits could be at risk. Here's how you can protect yourself and your benefits. Never respond to mail notifying you of a false claim in your name. Never answer a text message asking you to verify your account. And only respond to official Alabama Department of Labor's social media pages. Report fraud at labor.alabama.gov/fraud. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Labor, ABA, and the station. The Alabama Department of Labor is an equal opportunity employer program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Dial 711 for TTY accessibility.
Your home for Alabama Crimson Tide football. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Get your officially licensed, co-branded Alabama swag, the Legacy Collection, athletesthread.com/collections/Martin-Houston. That's your officially licensed Alabama co-branded swag, courtesy of Martin Houston, NIL, and Athletes Thread once again. And if you tune in looking at it live, just scan the QR code, and we'll get that taken care of. That's the Alabama officially licensed Legacy Collection. Welcome into the West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview Show. And right now we're bringing to you Coach Christian Jones of Paul W. Bryant Stampede. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, man?
Doing well. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, brother.
Yeah, we definitely want to talk about Paul Bryant High, but tell our listeners what Christian Jones has been up to, as because the Crimson Tide loves to keep up with the former players.
Just been working, man, perfecting my craft as a coach. For the past 5 years, man, I've just been locked in on development of student athletes in terms of on and off the field. And yeah, man, it's spot on. Never thought I'd be in this position this early, but the Lord working in mysterious ways, man.
Congratulations. For those of you who may not know, Christian Jones was preparing to lead the Central Falcons as special teams coach and wide receivers coach, coordinator there. But only a few weeks before the season started, Coach, you were named to Bryant, Paul W. Bryant High School, as the new head coach. And, of course, tonight we're featuring Paul Bryant and Central, your former team. Coach, what has that been like this week as you were preparing to go against the guy you were just working with only a few weeks ago?
I just want to say kudos to Coach Pip for allowing me the opportunity to coach as an official coach and giving me the responsibility to be a part of the special teams coordinator. But more so than anything, man, for me, man, I kind of block out the noise. It's not really about, all the hype that you guys create. For us and our team, it's just really about focusing on putting the best product on the field and practicing at a high level so that we're able to have the confidence and the faith in ourselves and in each other to go out and execute a good game plan.
Well, Coach, you called me out. I'm part of the media, but I'm your brother in arms, and I want to highlight not just what you do on the field, because I think that sometimes coaches focus so much on trying to get the product on the field to win before they get these young men to win. And the reason we're having to record this thing is you had a choice of whether you come on and hype up your game or you spend time with your young men in player development. And so talk about that aspect of why you're in this business as a high school coach.
Number one, man, is to develop men, to develop character. As you mentioned tonight, we're doing character development where I bring in speakers to come in and sort of give their history on how they got where they are to motivate these guys to understand that it's different walks of life, different people that come from different backgrounds, but they can still overcome anything if they put their mind to it. So my goal and my job here is to sort of change the mindset, the loser's mentality of life, accepting anything, and more so gearing their mind towards how they present themselves in terms of dress, how they present themselves in terms of the way they speak to each other, speak to other people, having been mild-mannered, and just giving them the tools that they need outside of life, outside of football, because a lot of them are going to outlive playing football. A lot of them, this is their last go-round in terms of playing football. So it's bigger than just playing football. It's more about them being the leaders of this community.
Well, Christian, I don't like to volunteer myself to speak, but if you had an open slot and I can make it work, I get somebody to cover me here, I would love to come and share with your team and your group. I have a talk called Keep Blocking, developing a gritty mindset, and it's about growth through testing and having a resilient spirit and the influence you have on other people, and tenacity, all of those things that it takes to play the game of football at a high level, but also to be successful at a high level in life. And to me, Coach, what you're doing, I applaud you, and I just hope that the fan base, the school, and everyone gives you a chance, because if you get that in them, then the W is going to come on the field. So, yeah. And so, hey, if you're just now joining us, we're speaking with Christian Jones, former Alabama wide receiver, now current and new head coach at Paul W. Bryant Stampede. They're taking on the Central Falcons on tomorrow night. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the game and what we can expect as you take the field, Coach. Which guys or players or units would you say, hey, look for these guys to have impact tomorrow night?
We're looking for our defense to step up. Defensively, man, we got a group of great guys. LaKendrick Lewis, Eric Hill, our linebacker group, and our D-line is very good. From number 9 and Denzel, Jamar Bankhead plays both ways, is also our left tackle. So we have a lot of group of guys. Offensively, Javion Johnson. Offensively, we have been struggling these past 2 games, but we're looking to step up our game, putting guys in different spots. And it's going to be a great time to feature some of our guys who haven't probably had extensive roles, except roles now that they're able to spotlight themselves and put themselves on the map. So, and I'll allow them to do that tomorrow night. So I think everything that we do here, those guys are going to be able to exemplify themselves, because everything that we've been doing is new. Whether that's from defense, special teams, and offensively, everything is new. And only being able to have a short amount of time to get it done is still a work in progress. But like I said before, our goal is to put the correct product on the field tomorrow night, and I think those guys are going to be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, Coach, I could only imagine how difficult it's been. You literally have into your 3rd week of the season, and it's like spring practice, literally, probably from the time you've had to spend with these guys. What's 2 or 3 things that you say, if we do these things tomorrow night, Paul Bryant will come out with the victory?
Just doing their job. Early on, our problem was trying to make too many plays and make every play, whether that's defensively, offensively, and special teams. I think if everybody go out here and do their job, play discipline, have the right eye discipline defensively, having the right deception and in terms of route running, in terms of the way we run the ball offensively, and just everybody taking care of their responsibility. Our motto here is dominate your space. And that's what we're going to preach while we're here, because if you just focus on your job and doing what you need to do, everybody else, all 11 guys doing that, we will have success each time we step on the field. So it's a work in progress. I'm not going to say any key specific things that we need to do, but overall as a team, we just need to dominate our space and do our job and play at a high level.
I love to dominate your space, take care of your business first. And if everybody does that, then you have 11 guys working together as a team. Coach, when you look at going against your former team, I know you don't want to give away any specific game plans, but any guys over there you say, hey, these are some of the guys we need to focus on. And if we're able to contain some of these guys, then it improves our chances of getting out with the victory.
The entire team, man. They have a solid team over
Yeah.
there. I know those guys very well. Coach Peel, Coach Walden, Coach McCain, Coach Rivers. Those guys do a great job. Coach Smith with the D-line. They're very sound. They got very intelligent coaches over there. So I'm not going to be surprised by or haven't been surprised by what I've been seeing on film from those guys. And, it's going to take, like I said before, for us to have a chance to win this game, we got to be disciplined. We got to play at a high level and be able to do our job and dominate our space at a high level. It shows a resemblance. When I look at Central, coming from Central, we have some of the same situations that we had last year when I was at Central for the first year with Coach Pippen. These are some of the same situations that we have this year, So we have the talent. We have the responsibility as coaches to keep developing our kids so that they have the confidence to go out there and play at a high level. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to continue to do. That's what our main focus has been this week, and having faith in each other and using the faith of each other and the faith in our coaches to be able to put the game plan together to go out there and execute. Central is going to do the same thing. It's their second year with their coach. A lot of those guys are veterans. A lot of those guys played a lot of significant snaps last year, and they got ball players over there, man. So if we don't do our job, we don't dominate our space, we're giving them the chance to dominate our space, and that's not what we want.
Well, speaking with Coach Christian Jones, Paul W. Bryant High School new coach. Coach, when you earlier in the program, and I'll close with this question, you mentioned about mentality, winning mentality. I give you this platform because I love highlighting high school football. I don't think we do a good enough job because of what you guys mean and do. So I give you this chance to talk to our listeners, our followers, your fan base, or whatever, what you need them to help you do in terms of just changing the mindset, because I believe a mindset, a winning mindset or a championship mindset starts with not just what you guys do, but what we as a community do as well.
Yes. Well, the saying says, it takes a community to raise a child. So we need the entire community, from us as coaches, from the teachers on faculty inside of the school, in terms of the community coming out and supporting our guys wherever they go, whatever the situation, whatever the weather is. They just need the ultimate support of the entire community to back them. They put in a lot of work from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all the way up to Thursday to be able to have a chance to put the best product on the field. So they put in a lot of hours. Our coaches put in a lot of hours, and to just have the community to back us in any type of way, whether that's donating, whether that's coming out to help, signing up as a sponsorship. We love to exploit businesses that will help us expand this program. There's a lot of things that we need. There's a lot of things that we need to evaluate and change, and we need the community to help us do that on a financial stamp and in a little personal labor in terms of our help, whether it's concessions, whether it's our parents getting on board to be a part of the Booster Club. You can never have enough parents on that. Whether it's donating supplies, food, or snacks for our players. Everything, we just need our hands on deck in terms of the community. And I know sometimes it's slowpoke people around who wants to see the product first, want to see where's the direction of this place has gone. This place has had I'm the 7th head coach here, so there's been a lot of coaching changes here. And I know there's a lot of people looking for consistency, and that's what we're here to give. We're here to give consistency and develop and show you guys how, when the community backs a program, how fast a program can change, how fast the minds of this program can change from a losing mindset to a winner's mindset. And winning is not about the scoreboard. In terms of that mindset, it's about the daily duties of doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, and not doing what you're supposed to do when you're not supposed to do it. So we need the backing of the community to come and help us put forth the best product of our student athletes here at Paul W. Bryant, all across all sports.
All right. Hey, dominate your space as a community, as parents, as teachers, and students and student athletes. So that's the challenge from Coach Jones. Coach Jones, and I'll give you one more chance. Is there one thing you say, hey, if I could get this year, I'm laying it out there for our community to hear this. What's one thing, if you could get it right now, you say this could help us take that next step forward this very season?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know what this is right now.
Okay.
that's something that will be highly evaluated going into the offseason. But right now, I tell you what it is. Just show up and root for these guys and be behind these guys, win, lose, or draw. These guys need to see the support. They need to hear the support. And it's a magnitude of things that can change when you have the community behind us. So just donate, be here, support, travel, come to our home games. We have 7 home games this year. So there's no excuse for us to not be behind these guys 1,000%.
Well, hey, listen, Coach, I'm glad to highlight you. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day as you prepare to take on the Central Falcons. Hey, listen, you're out there in the radio world and social media world. Get behind Paul W. Bryant, Stampede, and Coach Christian Jones and help them dominate their space. And you can do your part to do that. Thanks, Coach, and we'll catch up with you later on in the season.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
All right. All right, that was Coach Christian Jones of the Paul W. Bryant Stampede. And we want to thank the folks over at the pharmacy at Midtown. The pharmacy at Midtown, they're one of our big sponsors. New patients, call them at 205-579-9933. Free delivery, immunizations, long-term care, medication savings, medication synchronization, and a whole lot more. They're more than your typical pharmacy. Go check out the pharmacy at Midtown, pharmacymidtown.com. They also sponsor the Free for All Friday for the Martin Houston show, which is 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. But right now, they are helping us bring you the West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview Show. On the other side of the break, we'll add Anna Snyder of the Tuscaloosa News. Catch up with her. She's at a special location right now. We'll talk with her for a few minutes, and then we'll continue our conversation as we highlight West Alabama High School football right here on the West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview Show.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
The Alabama Securities Commission protects you from financial fraud. Anyone asking you for investment money must be licensed. You're careful with your money. Fraudsters aren't. Before you invest, call our hotline at 1-800-222-1253 to verify the licensing of the person making an offer and the product. Don't lose your hard-earned money. Learn to protect yourself at asc.alabama.gov. Paid for by the Investor Protection Trust and brought to you by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Need to know what's going on with the Crimson Tide? Then subscribe to our YouTube channel for exclusive content on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back into the Welcome back into West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview Show, brought to you by Houston Hydro Steam. Houston Hydro Steam. Quality work you can stand on. 205-553-9460. What to expect? Free estimates, professional trained technicians, 100% satisfaction. Appointments set around your schedule, no hidden charges, and extra care and attention given to trouble areas. That's Houston Hydro Steam, and you can find them online at houstonhydrosteam.com or call them once again at 205-553-9460. Let's welcome Miss Anna Snyder into the program. How you doing, Anna?
Hey, I'm good.
Welcome
How
into
are
the West
you?
Alabama High School Pigskin Preview Show.
Good.
And glad to have you with us. Tell us where are you at right now? I heard you out on assignment right now.
Yes, so I'm at Central for a flag football game. So Northridge is here playing Central and flag football. They're in the third quarter right now, and Northridge is up 7-0.
Now, is this co-ed, female? What's the setup here?
This is so flag football is just girls.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm having to get used to that. That's going to become a regular part of our sports coverage mindset when it comes to high school sports. And so what's going on? You said third quarter, Northridge at Central. What's the current score?
Yeah, Northridge is up 7-0 right now. And kind of going off of that, I want to say this is the first year flag football is actually a sanctioned sport in Alabama. So, yeah, you'll definitely start seeing more of it.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying is I'm still learning and having to put that in the collective, mindset of, oh, this is another option for sports and for young ladies to participate in athletics. And, of course, mentality for Martin. I have to remember that a sport doesn't require violence for it to be a sport.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
But I can tell you, hey, listen, it would go through the same thing when someone calls soccer football. I go through the same process. So I'll get there. I know I'll get there eventually, but anyway, it's still cool to highlight them and wish them nothing but success. Now, if I know them, they probably get at it pretty good. But X had a question regarding what you got planned for tomorrow night.
So tomorrow night I will be covering games remotely. Kind of long story, but I have some friends in town. So with the Bama game Saturday, I'm just doing that. But I will be covering the TA game remotely as well as others. But the TA game will be the one I write off of. But so that's Aliceville going to Tuscaloosa Academy. But another big game, obviously, is Hoover. Hoover going to Hillcrest. So that was actually my game of the week right there.
X.
Oh, nice. Real quick, I'm a TA grad, so that's my alma mater. Love the Knights. Hopefully they can go down or host Aliceville and get a W as they continue to build on their third year in the AHSAA. But
yeah.
Hoover Hillcrest, that's a big game. That's a region game now with Hillcrest being up in 7A. Hoover lost a tough one last week. Hillcrest is still at 2-0. What are your chances for the Patriots tomorrow night?
Goodness, so I haven't seen Hoover play personally, so I've kind of struggled with this one. But I do see it being a close game, especially Hoover's had so much go on within their program within the last year. And obviously Hillcrest will have that home field advantage, and I definitely think this is a game that they want, to start region playoff at home. I definitely think, Coach Mitchell's going to have his team ready. So I definitely can see tomorrow being a close game.
And who are some of the Hillcrest players that people need to keep an eye out? I know their quarterback Bryson Kimbrough is the face of the team. But who's some other guys that stand out for the Patriots?
Yeah, I was going to say Bryson definitely. Another one is wide receiver Caden Smith. He's just a junior, and he already holds multiple SEC offers. They have another wide receiver, Jordan Chambers Smith, and then running back. They have a freshman who Coach Mitchell told me would be the only freshman to have started, under him. His name's Jacoby Harris, and then there's also Christian Ritchie, who's another running back. So, and that's just on the offensive side of the ball, but they got lots of good guys over there at Hillcrest.
Yeah, I think Hillcrest, right now Hillcrest is the only program that's ranked between 5A, 6A, and 7A. They're the only West Alabama program ranked and getting any votes at number 8. Hoover sitting at number 7. So it's a top 10 matchup. So that's going to be really good. But you mentioned TA, and you said that's the story you're going to write about. TA right now sitting at number 3. Only a few years into Alabama High School SAA in 2A. What are people thinking? You don't know the history, but when Xavier went there, it was a basketball school. The TA was known for football, would be like Kentucky being known for football if you go back in the history tree. So what are they doing?
Yeah.
Have them, they've got this program ramped up really quick. Have they been able to recruit good guys, or what is it?
Well, I know they got a good quarterback, which is obviously very important, but their quarterback's name is Preston Lancaster, and he led the entire state in passing yards last year, which is just huge. He was named the 2A back of the year in Class 2A. And, yeah, this is, I think, a big year for them, because it's Coach Wright's 4th year there at TA, so he's had the 4 years to grow. He's grown with these kids that are now seniors from their freshman year. So there's definitely a lot of potential for TA this season.
Yeah, wow. Anything else you want to share with us from what's happening around West Alabama before we let you go?
No, nothing else. Just region play kicks off tomorrow. So these are, I'm not saying all games don't matter, but these are the really, really important games when you got to win these games to keep your season alive come November. So it's going to be exciting for sure.
Absolutely. Hey, Anna, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter or X. My username is Anna E. Snyder too.
All right. Thanks, Anna. That's Anna Snyder. She's the prep high school reporter for the Tuscaloosa News, and she's out at Northridge Central watching flag football for Northridge and Central high school girls. I got it, right?
Yes, you did. You did. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Anna. We'll be back on the
All
other
right,
side.
have a good one.
We'll be back on the other side to keep things rolling and to keep it going right here. Don't forget to go check out one of our great sponsors of the program, North River Timber Company, LLC. Courtney White, 205-242-5127. Timber harvesting, appraisals, and land management. If you have land in West Alabama, then Courtney White, the seasoned veteran, 11 years as a registered forester, and his team will be glad to help you. And he likes to say, if you have land, it's like having money in the bank, and you need to maximize that potential. And North River Timber CO can help you do just that. We'll be back on the other side to put your finishing touches on this edition of the West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview Show.
Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. The Martin Houston Show.
Join the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Box Eye Care. It's a free-for-all Friday powered by the pharmacy at Midtown. We'll take your calls, your thoughts, your reactions, and don't forget to get your scores in as we have the Alabama Legacy Collection Score Prediction Contest with Jalen Milroe, total yards as a tiebreaker. We'll have those conversations and more right here on your home for Alabama sports. It is the Martin Houston Show, powered by Box Eye Care.
Catch the Martin Houston Show from 6 to 7 weekday mornings on Tide 100.9.
Tide 100.9 Traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. And watch for an accident in the left lane north on Lurleen Wallace at University Boulevard. And an accident was cleared on westbound McFarland at Veterans Memorial Parkway. Got some slowing north on Highway 69 from McFarland to Mitt-Larry Road. It's a 5-minute delay. And there is bridge work on the Paul Bryant Bridge. Long-term construction on 15th Street at 2nd Avenue. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Lisa Baque.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you receiving unemployment? Your benefits could be at risk. Here's how you can protect yourself and your benefits. Never respond to mail notifying you of a false claim in your name. Never answer a text message asking you to verify your account. And only respond to official Alabama Department of Labor's social media pages. Report fraud at labor.alabama.gov/fraud. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Labor, ABA, and the station. The Alabama Department of Labor is an equal opportunity employer program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Dial 711 for TTY accessibility.
For more from Tide 100.9, let's it fly! And there's it! Whoa! Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and SoundCloud.
Welcome back into the West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview Show. If you take the initials, it's spelled "What's Up." So welcome back into What's Up, West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview Show. It's been a fun show. Any takeaways from the earlier interviews?
Yeah, I mean, when you hear what Coach Pippen and Coach Jones are wanting to do, yes, they're wanting to win football games. Yes, they're wanting to compete, but they're wanting to develop young men into being better young men, stronger young men for their communities. And I love that message when you're talking about high school sports, because for most of those kids, it ends on that last whistle of your senior year. But what are you going to do after that? What is your dream? What are your goals after that? And then you will have some that have the opportunity to play at the collegiate level and even potentially the pro level. But building character and developing them is such a key point of the high school level.
Absolutely, and that blessed me a lot. Being a man of faith and a man that wants to help build young men and young women into the future of America. Focusing on the character definitely matters, and I think they're trying to build winning cultures while trying to get wins on the field. And if they continue that, and if they're given time, I think you'll see both of these programs return to a place they've been before or go to a place that they haven't been before. X, I love it. We've got to highlight several teams. A few weeks ago, we highlighted Gordo and Fayette. And this past week, both of those teams had some really nice things happen. And here's a touchdown pass from one of the players that we highlight that we thought would be a player of the week candidate. And here's Mr. Jace Neal of Gordo. And we'll come back and talk about them in just a moment. Yep. And that has become a regular over at Gordo. X. That was Jace Neal to Mr. Lark, 19-yard touchdown, and they were able to get another victory, a close one over Bibb County, 36-35. And Gordo sitting at number 2 in 3AX.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, everybody loves to talk about the bigger schools, the 7As, 6As, 5As. But there's a lot of great football being played in the lower classes.
Yeah, and with Gordo, we talked to them, and they said that these two guys would be big, and they were able to make the big plays last week and get the victory. But they beat a Bibb County team who's number 4 in 4A. I'm sorry. I think that's it. Yeah, Bibb County. And so it's, big time kudos to them. But what I love to see, X, is when there's some bounce back for kids. Okay. Remember 60 something to like 13 or something, right?
Yeah.
Fayette County top performances for last week. Fayette County's Jake Rickman, after having a tough game against, crosstown rivals Gordo, last week came back and had 7 TDs last week. So
wow.
So he definitely made a couple of big plays as he connected with Desmond Harris for 3 touchdowns in their big win. Fayette County's going to be a good ball team, X, and so we'll keep up with them. And I told him hopefully we'll get to catch up with them as the season goes along. Here's a couple other guys, and you can comment, jump in here if you like. American Christian Academy, ACA, Eric Hine, last week had a big interception return for a 56-yard touchdown. Of course, they came up a little short in the overtime loss to Northridge, and we highlighted early in the program, if you missed it, a couple of guys from Northridge making a couple big plays as they helped Northridge. Jalen McCray ran a 2-yard touchdown, and Jacob Hall had a 1-yard touchdown, and Caleb Schofield hit the game-winning 30-yard field goal to give them the win in overtime. Sipsey Valley had a couple guys. Jaden Howard scored twice on runs of 48. In their loss to Jasper, but kudos to him. And Ashton Long also caught a couple touchdown passes. Just highlighting a couple of the kids that we'll be covering. Hopefully, we'll have an opportunity to pick their games. A couple other teams or things I want to highlight, X, before I get your thoughts on Hillcrest and Hoover, and then next week's game of the week will feature Hillcrest. But Sulligent, Lamar County, number 9. I can't wait till we have to take like a whole segment to go through the ranked teams in West Alabama. Right now, one of the disappointments, X, is at the highest level, West Alabama only has one school in the top 10, and that's Hillcrest.
Yeah, I think things will play out throughout the season. Is Central and Bryant, are they 5A now, or are they 6A?
6.
6. You look at what Coach Pip is doing with Central. I think they're a team that can make some noise. They're going to have to go through the Birmingham teams, but now not having to deal with a Hillcrest in your region, I think that really opens the door for them to make some noise.
Well, but Hillcrest was kind of the Birmingham school of this level, so they get into the playoffs. But if they're going to make a run, they're going to have to be able to compete against the Hillcrest of the world. But Central did get the big win against 7A opponent X County High, who goes down to Prattville next week. Next week, I'm gonna try, since we either only have one coach's interview next week, or we'll grab 2 guys. County High heads down to Prattville, so I may try to catch up with their coach. And then, of course, Hillcrest, Vestavia. Does Hillcrest have a chance, X, to move to 3-0 first and foremost? And what are your thoughts with them being prepared to take on Vestavia Hills? That's going to be our game of the week for sure. But what are your chances tonight against Hoover? Tomorrow night against Hoover.
I 100% believe in Hillcrest. I said it at the start of the season. I think this is a team that can make the jump to 7A and compete with all of those schools because of the program Coach Mitchell has built. They've dominated 6A the last few years. It was time. Now, granted, it is due to school size, but they needed a bump. They needed a move up in competition. They haven't gone as far in the playoffs, but they've also ran into Saraland and Ryan Williams led team the last couple years. But I think they have the guys to compete. And you hear a freshman starting at running back for them. Man, that's really impressive at that level.
Yep. Here's a couple of notes. Hillcrest, Bryson Kimbrough completed 10 of 12 passes for 135 yards, 31-10 win against Sparkman. He also had 10 carries for 22 yards. 4 different players scored rushing touchdowns: Jacoby Harris, Christian Ritchie, Javion Lowe, Caden Smith, and Bryson Kimbrough. And Hillcrest Joe Davison intercepted a pass. Will that be enough tomorrow night to take down the Hoover Bucks? Hoover's licking their wounds after losing to longtime crosstown rival and inter-school rival Spain Park. Will they get revenge? We'll tell you about it next week. I think the Patriots. Hey, remember, empowerment strategies and solutions. We speak, we train, we coach. We love the opportunity to come and empower your leaders and help you drive growth at your organization. You can go to Empowerment Strategies. That's empowerment with an M, empowermentstrategies.com. Empowerment Strategies and Solutions. We speak, we train, we coach. We love the opportunity to do that for you. I'm Martin Houston. That's Xavier Houston. That's Wyatt Fulton and the Tide 100.9 team at 12:30 a.m. team. We'll catch you next week for more West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview Show as we highlight Hillcrest versus Vestavia Hills.